Voices serves as the megaphone for individuals who have endured transformational change. By highlighting trials and triumphs, our desire is to create a safe space for pivotal conversations, which in turn will deepen the story and provoke hope for you, our listeners. As you may know, change is never easy, but it is inevitable. You are not alone in what you're facing. Your transformation is possible, purposeful, and now. And here's Aaron Wiggum, founder and managing director of New You, with this week's guest.
All right, welcome to another edition of New Voices. We're so excited to have you listening, and I'm really excited about this guest that we have today. This man is one of the people I met when I first got to Tulsa. He is extremely talented. I know him to be an athlete and a trainer. I know him to be a man of integrity and of his word. I know him to be a man who follows through on what he says he's going to do. You may hear his name in the same sentences as something called Big Bertha. He is the master of Big Bertha. We'll talk a little bit more about that in our session. But this guy, he came and he truly is a humble heart. He is a servant at heart. He has a true heart for the community and is a leader amongst others. And I'm really excited for you all to meet him the way that I have met him. I bring to you none other than the one and only Mr. Isaac Bennett. Welcome, Isaac.
Oh, glad to be here, and thank you for that introduction.
Absolutely. I got to speak about what I know about, right? Yeah. So let's jump right in here.
Okay.
We're going to have a just conversation around your evolution. So let's start at the very beginning.
Okay.
All right. Tulsa native. Talk to us a little bit about what it was like growing up in Tulsa as young Isaac.
Okay. So my story. I don't know how far I should go back, but born and raised not too far from here, about 2 miles away, mile and a half from the downtown bridge on Cheyenne Avenue.
Yep.
Area historically known for like drugs and gangs.
Yeah.
Now gentrified and it looks a little different.
Yeah.
But I'm the middle child of two siblings.
Okay.
I had a sister that passed away before I was born. Grew up in a household. My father was a pastor, so I'm a PK.
You're a PK.
Okay,
All right.
yeah, I'm a
All
PK.
Right. Nice.
Mom has been in education for 15 plus years. Emerson Elementary. So I guess I have she's been a secretary, so she's been support for a long time. Been amazing at that. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's just the start of I guess my past.
Yeah. So what got you into sports? When did you start? How did you get into that?
Yeah. Well, I didn't start off playing football.
Okay.
I know we're gonna get to that later.
Yep.
My first love was actually soccer.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So I was a soccer player. I had an amazing coaching staff.
Okay.
Amazing coaches all my life. Played soccer with a diverse team. Sort of kind of more Hispanics and whites. I was the only black kid on the team.
Okay. What position?
I was a forward.
You're a forward. Okay.
Yeah,
Did
so
you score much?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I scored a lot and I was super fast. So,
Okay.
And that's where I got my start, I guess, in my athletic career.
Yeah.
And I played soccer for about 8 years
Okay.
before transitioning to basketball.
Okay.
Then finally joining the football team my 7th grade year.
Okay. Now, you said you're a PK, so did you grow up, you play any instruments or anything?
No instruments.
Because usually PKs, they got to get on the instrument. You just don't sit around the church and not do nothing, right?
Yeah, no, that's not me. My sisters can actually sing.
Okay.
It skipped me. I can hold a tune for like 2 seconds.
Okay.
But yeah, my sisters can blow. Mom can as well. But me and my dad, we cannot.
No
sing
singing.
for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're when you look at your upbringing, you're probably, what percentage would you give the sports versus the church?
So we did not do a lot of Wednesday sessions.
Okay.
With services. I mean, Sundays were our primary day. Some days we're going Wednesdays.
Okay.
But I was every day, playing some type of sport, whether organized or just in the neighborhood, throw them up, jack them up, basketball, in front of the
Wait,
house.
throw them up, jack them up. What's this?
Yeah, so the new age kids, they may not know too much about it, but throw 'em up, jack 'em up is a type of football played really in the hood for the most part. At least that's where I know it from.
Yeah.
The rules is when you go down to the ground or you're going to the ground, you have to throw the ball.
Throw the
up.
ball, right.
Yeah, so it's one person versus like 15 people.
Yep.
And the game starts off by one person throwing to the other side, and you got to score.
Yep.
And it was a fun game.
Yeah, we back home we call that free for all.
Okay.
Yeah, and we pretty much do the same thing. We don't have to throw it back. Well, you do have to throw it back, but from what I remember of the rule, now we talking about a long time ago.
Yeah.
But what I remember from the rules is like there were no rules, so there was no out of bounds. You could grab.
Yeah,
people,
no out of bounds.
And so we had a lot of fist fights that started from it.
Same here.
But it was a lot of fun. You got fast, you got strong, and you were able to challenge people and so you called it
throw 'em up, jack 'em up.
Throw 'em up, jack 'em up.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. All right. And so you're playing a lot of sandlot and as well as organized sports.
Yep.
You get into hoops around what time?
I get into hoops when I was 11 years old. I was in the 5th grade.
Okay.
Started playing a little basketball. Played for middle school team. Played for the YMCA actually for about a year or two. And then I played for Crawford Middle School.
Okay.
And my basketball career lasted until I was 14. So my freshman year, after that year, it really ended for me.
Okay.
I wasn't good.
Okay.
Yeah, had to make a decision.
Okay. I appreciate the honesty. I told y'all he's a man of integrity. I appreciate the honesty. I wasn't good.
Yeah, man, that's the best policy, man.
Yeah.
I think I remember when I made the decision.
Yeah.
I was, Shay Seals was my basketball coach. He actually coached for TU.
Okay.
He played with Kobe. Mm-hmm. A great basketball player, but he was coaching us at Booker T.
Okay.
And man, I was a different person back then.
Okay.
As a youngster, so I was a freshman. Trying out for the varsity team.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I remember summer leagues. We were playing at TU, and I wasn't getting any game. I'm only 5'11".
Yeah.
And I was playing center my entire career because I
Right.
could jump high.
Okay.
Right. And at the time, you didn't have to be as tall, but now we're talking high school ball.
Right.
So I was a 5'11" center. Couldn't shoot. I don't want to say barely shoot. Couldn't shoot. Couldn't dribble with my left hand. Barely could dribble with my right hand.
Okay.
And so I didn't get any game during the summer league, and I
Okay.
actually fell asleep on the sideline. Okay, so I fell asleep on the sideline. That's what type of student I was.
Okay. So you were not playing that much that you had time to fall asleep on the side.
Yeah, and
wow.
it was a way of me acting out.
Okay.
I was frustrated, obviously, because I used to look at guys who didn't get in.
Yeah.
A certain type of way. So here I was,
That guy.
that guy,
Yeah.
fourth quarter, and coach wanted to put me in
Okay.
the last minute of the game
And
in the
you're
fourth
asleep.
quarter, and I was up at this point,
Oh, okay.
looking at the time, and I told him, "I'm cool, man. I'm cool, coach." He was shocked to hear that answer, but come on, man, you're not putting me in. I'm
Yeah.
cool. That was like the last day I played 14. Like I'm just going to football.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you went to football. Was it immediate gravitation, or how did that happen?
So I went to football like I said, when I was in the 7th grade. And I grew up playing throwing jack 'em up, so organized football wasn't really interest to me until I was peer pressure to go out there.
Yep.
And just fell in love with it. Loved the contact. Loved the fact that I could, score and make people miss. Just have a good time out there.
So you came in as a running back.
I came in as a tight end.
Tight end, okay.
Yeah, so we had 2 great running backs at the time. Baby J, rest in peace.
Okay.
And one of the greatest running backs I've seen.
Really?
And
Okay.
Rory Tillis at the time, who was actually the owner of Waffle That.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
So he was a running back, at Crawford with me. And I played with some guys who were just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Dante Barnett, Tyler Lockett, and
from
Trey Stern.
Seattle.
Yeah,
He played in Seattle. Yeah.
So I played with some guys who could play.
Okay.
And it's funny because I actually almost quit football going into high school.
Okay.
When they moved me to running back.
Oh. So you're getting hit all the time now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't so much a fear of getting hit. I just didn't want to play. I didn't have that vision of myself.
Okay.
Playing football.
Okay.
And I remember going to practice, and the head coach, basically came up to me and said, "Hey, man," he had a little accent. "Hey, man, I'm we're going to move you from receiver to running back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can be great like Felix Jones and, you know, they named another name. And I'm looking at him like, yeah, okay. But he didn't know I was quitting that day. Like, I'm out of here, man.
Yeah.
Running back, no, man, I'm a receiver. That I
Right.
was transitioning from tight end to receiver.
Right.
At least that's what I was thinking.
Right.
But shout out to Coach Brown, Coach Jermaine Brown. He came up to me because he seen the way I looked. And I told him, like, I'm out of here, Coach. I'm not playing running back. And then he spoke life into me and basically laid out my future. It was, you know, crazy how the Lord spoke through him. Man, he was obedient and, you know, coming to talk to me and was like, yeah, man, like, give it a shot, man. Like, you're going to do X, Y, Z, one of the greatest to come out of here. And you know, you can get to score as many times as you like, man. Just give it a shot.
Yeah.
And from there, the rest was history, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so, you know, here at New Voices, we have conversations around pivotal moments in your journey.
Yeah.
Right. So that was a pivotal point.
Yeah.
You're switching positions. Let's fast forward a little bit, and we'll come back to this story.
Okay.
But let's fast forward a little bit to like how you switch positions on the football field. Give us a time where you had to switch positions in your career or in a relationship, or what was going through your mind? How was it? How did you have to use some of the tenets of switching the football positions to switching gears or lanes in these life positions?
Yeah. So I guess my most recent transition is the most relevant one. I am officially not an employee in education.
Okay.
For the last, 7 years, I've been at Crossover Preparatory Academy.
Okay.
Great organization. Actually, the organization, was started in 2017.
Okay.
So it's, you know.
Relatively young.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, but up until last year, I knew that it was time for me to transition.
Okay.
So I had reached a low point. I reached a low point. I think it was 2016. Not 2016. 2021, I reached a low point. This was after COVID. And we were only a few schools to go through COVID still with in-person learning.
Got you.
And it was tough, man.
Yeah.
It was tough. The kids, they were, you know, looking for some hope. You know, it was a rough time. And I think, you know, us as a staff, we're trying to find hope as well and keep that passion. And it was around May, which is the end of the school year. And I remember just being on the phone with my little sister in a parking lot of Target. I'm talking to her and, you know, I just broke down crying. I couldn't control it. And I was so frustrated with all that I had to do, still needed to do, and wanted to do.
Yeah.
And, you know, just, you know, I have a heart for my students and for the community. And my community was the Crossover Prep community. And I've always had, you know, something inside of me to want to do more, want to strive for more. So it felt like I wasn't hitting that mark.
Okay. And,
you know, a year later, you know, which was 2022, so last summer, it hit me that, you know, it's time for me to go. But it was too soon for me to actually leave because I had to finish out the year. And I've been an athletic director, so that's a major position. You're talking about uniforms, scheduling of games, and we weren't in the league at the time. So it was so much that I felt like I had to complete in order for me to finally, you know, step away.
Yeah.
So yeah, now here I am, really still going through this transition phase. I probably have 2 more weeks left. And really I'm here now just for the new assistant athletic director and athletic director to provide them support and transfer files over and things of that nature. So I'm still going through it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, and I guess to relate back to, you know, different times in my life when I had to transition, it's all the same. It's my faith, ultimately. So I'm not worried. It's funny because I've talked to a lot of people who've been asking me, like, what's going on? What's next?
Yeah.
And I can't give them a definite answer. But me and God, we're talking. I'm working for sure
Yeah.
on something that's going to be beneficial to my community.
Yeah.
And that's my ultimate goal. And I'm not worried about finances right now. I'm just worried about my faith and what is it going to look like for me to just keep, pressing into God and keep pressing into prayer and to work at the same time.
Yeah.
Like I'm just dialing in, trying to see how I'm going to benefit the community and myself and all those who I come in contact with.
Wow, that's powerful, man.
Yeah.
That's powerful. I want to dig a little bit deeper into that. You said you had this conversation with your sister.
Yeah.
And it's so often when we're going through these pivotal times in our life, there are these crowning moments, right? Or there are these like moments where it just bubbles over, right?
Yeah.
And especially as men, it usually is like glass shattering. Like it's not smooth and easy. No, it's like you hit a clean wall.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's a purging that is necessary. Like you had to get off your chest.
Yeah.
But it also is like it's unfamiliar to you to be that level of vulnerable and that level of just kind of bought into that moment, right? So I don't want you to share necessarily what you shared with your sister.
Yeah.
But I want to kind of capture that, the essence of that conversation that helped you to like admit that you knew this was a release of where I was and an acceptance to where I'm going.
Yeah. So my younger sister, right, Caroline Inspires, she is a phenomenal woman. A year younger than me. We're all stir steps, me and my sisters, right?
Okay.
So calling her was, I think it was on my spirit to do so because I know she always, she would have something for me in that moment. I think, like you said, as men, we wait too long to express certain sides of us.
Yep.
That vulnerable state of I need help.
Yeah.
And we usually just go through life checking boxes, trying to check boxes, adding more to our plate. And some of these things that we add to our plate, we're supposed to add to them. But some we're just taking on because of, I think, this innate nature just to fulfill a void, to show how much of a man we are, we can handle. But I don't even think it's on purpose. Through our conversation, God didn't let me hold on to any of that at that moment. And it was a release. Like I tried to stop. You don't want to be on the phone crying. It was a FaceTime, man. I'm FaceTime my sister. Like, wait a second, I can't stop.
Yeah.
And but I needed to. Now I remember, reading some scripture. I don't remember what part of the Bible it was, but God wants us to be at that moment, and we will come to that moment sometime in our life, different times.
Yep.
And we can't think about anything. There's nothing to think about. It's all spirit, and we're letting it flow out. And I feel as if, like at that moment, to be able to share with her some of the things I was going through and the why, why behind me feeling that way was important for me to just let it all out.
Yeah. Do you think part of the why was that you felt like you were abandoning your community by what you thought what you had realized you need to make this move, and it felt like a sense of abandonment?
At the time, I felt like I wasn't enough. I felt like I wasn't enough. I felt like I wasn't doing enough. Relating back to the team aspect, I wasn't holding up
your end of the bargain.
My end of the bargain.
Yeah. Okay.
So I wasn't doing my job as a teammate.
Okay.
And just being in education, man, it's a tough field.
Yeah.
You see so much.
Yes.
You see so much, and you want to be able to help so much. At that point in my life, I realized that I'm no good to anybody if I can't even help myself.
That's it.
And from that point forward, that was something I had to, basically hold on to. Like, man, you can only do what you can do. That's it.
Yeah.
You can try to do more what you can, but you can only do what you can do, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that's good. So let's go back into your journey. You're playing ball. when did you know you were good at football? Like where you went to Booker T, right?
Yeah.
Okay, shout out to Booker T.
Yeah.
If you're not from Tulsa, Booker T is the premier high school.
Not Tulsa, Washington, man.
You're not going to be in Tulsa for 20 minutes and not hear somebody shout out Booker T. All right, so that is where the who's who. This is what Tulsans say.
Yeah.
This is where the who's who go in Tulsa, right? So so you go to Booker T and you're starting tailback. When did you get good and when did you know you were good?
Man, I knew I was good in middle school.
Okay.
I was running back a lot of kicks.
Okay.
And I mean, I was, making an impact on my team.
Yeah.
When I transitioned to high school, when was this? When did I know I was good in high school? I think it was my sophomore year when I fully embraced how good I was.
Mm-hmm.
And this came from over me not even getting in. I didn't start until I was a junior.
Okay.
Yeah, I had Mike Doctor, he was in front of me. He ended up going to Oregon State.
Okay.
But he was an amazing athlete.
Mm-hmm.
And my coach, for whatever reason, he didn't, want to put me in.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank God that he held off on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, look, I ended up getting in. I didn't get in our game versus Miami, right? And I was good at the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't get it twisted. I was still good as a freshman and sophomore.
Yeah.
But I had some off the field issues that I was working through.
Yep.
And the coach was, using that as an excuse to not put me in. Where we blow out Miami, we're blowing out Miami, and I'm thinking, yeah, it's my time to get in now. I've been great at practice. It's my time to shine. And Miami is like 3 hours away from here.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's far. So my folks were at this game.
Okay.
And no burn whatsoever.
Okay.
No burn. They put a guy in front of me. He was a good athlete, but he shouldn't have been in front of me. I'm gonna just say that much.
Okay.
It was my time. Still didn't get in, and from then on, the next practice, which was Monday, because I was about to transfer and go to Sand Springs.
Okay.
My mama finally gave me the okay, because we're old school. Hey, we're not
stick it out. Yeah.
New NIL portal type stuff. No, stick it through until there is no tomorrow, right? Yeah. And we reached a point to where like they took a 3-hour trip. Man, you still not in? And I was supposed to get in at the time. Made the decision I was leaving. But then I had another talk with myself at this point. No, I'm sticking through. And the next practice day, I was like, I don't know, man. A guy just touched me or something like, yeah, man, this is what you were supposed to do. You're going to push through and you're going to go. And from then on, I think, I realized how good I was because I was doing what I was supposed to be doing versus all the starters who were guys who had scholarship offers to different Division I colleges at the time. So, yeah.
Okay. What was your first 100-yard game? You remember?
No.
No? Okay.
Oh, I wish I do.
Okay.
I had a few. I don't remember my first one, though.
All right. So you're a senior coming out of Booker T.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're getting letters.
No.
No letters.
No. Man, so I was the top running back in my class.
Okay.
Top 3 in the state. I remember I was top 3 in the state. The year before, I just won the state championship for long jump.
No way.
3rd place in the 100.
Okay.
I was a good running back, right? Well, my GPA was low. I was never really studious. Okay. And I had some off the field issues. Yep. So, I'm a senior with an offer from TU. I did have an offer from TU.
Okay.
And I had one to Louisiana Monroe.
Okay.
But then I had one to Pittsburgh State.
Okay.
But to me,
so you had letters. You just didn't. Listen, it wasn't the places you were hearing your other friends.
To me, I had 0 letters.
Yeah.
And it's because I couldn't stay in Tulsa. Number one.
Right.
Like I was involved in like selling weed at the time.
Yeah.
Like the biggest weed dealing, which was crazy because at the same time I was in the newspapers.
Right.
So a lot of people don't know that side of me, which they're probably going to hear this and say, what the heck is going on?
I know, yeah. You're the guy who's
So I knew I had to, I knew I didn't have any letters. Louisiana Monroe, but, they were, not even
school.
on my list.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, it was a different time.
All right. Mm-hmm. So how did you end up at University of Pittsburgh?
So I ended up at the University of Pittsburgh by the coaches at TU. Coach Graham left TU to go to Pitt.
Okay.
Yeah. So Coach Graham was crazy. His story is wild. But yeah, Coach Graham and his staff went to Pitt. They were recruiting me at TU. I wasn't showing them any interest, but after they went to Pitt, one of the coaches reached out to me asking me if I would like to, take a visit and, what did I think about playing free safety? Mm-hmm. Yeah, free safety. No, that's not.
I'm a running back. I want to score.
Right. Yeah. But thank God I had coaches that talked some sense to me. Hey, man, just take the free trip.
Right.
Which was the comments. They take the free trip, man, right. And and see what'll come from it.
Who told you to take the free trip? Do you remember?
Coach Sales.
Okay, shout out to Coach Sales.
Yeah, Keith Sales, man. He was my AAU basketball coach too.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, the realest coach, one of the realest coaches I had.
You need somebody to tell you to take the free trip.
Come on.
We all have to have somebody who will say, just take the free trip.
The free trip.
Right, because there's things that are happening in our lives that we are trying to put the chess pieces or the puzzle pieces together and say, well, if this isn't this and this isn't that, and you're being conclusive when you don't even know what it's free.
No idea.
Just take it.
Yeah.
It's what do you lose in going? Nothing.
Nothing at all.
But what can you gain in going? Everything. Yeah. Right. And so shout out to Coach Seals for just telling you, take the free trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I took the trip and ended up getting the offer there. Hey, Coach Graham had us in the room and basically gave us the offer right there. Okay. But from there, I realized that I had not completed my NCAA clearinghouse. Yeah. Which you need to be recruited. Yeah. So remember my history. I was a top running back, et cetera, for these last couple of years, state champ, but I had not even completed my NCAA clearinghouse. And this
what is that?
So the NCAA clearinghouse is basically like this portal system where all athletes who are trying to go to Division I, Division II, Division III have to complete in order to be eligible for the NCAA. Okay. So it's an $80 fee that you pay. Okay. And I didn't pay. We thought we had paid. We filled out the application, but we didn't pay that $80. Okay. And we filled it out my junior year. Mm-hmm. Right. So this entire time, I'm thinking I'm in the clear.
And you're not.
Was not even in the system. Okay. And we had just won the state championship again. Okay. Yeah. So we had won the state championship. Booker T. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Won the state championship first time in like 20 years. My sophomore year. Won it again my senior year. Okay. And so all these positives were happening, right? But at the same time, I had not
take care of business.
Had not taken care of business. Didn't know. Okay. Which is why I'm doing what I'm doing now. Okay. You're trying to get the kids in the system, educating the parents. Yeah. After the scholarship offer and, finally getting in the system, I realized I had to have a 21 on my ACT because my GPA was so low.
Oh, so I had to pull you up. Had to be able to leverage it.
Yeah. So, I'm back like, you got the scholarship, but
you got to make it in.
You need you need to sign up for the next ACT. Right. And you failed a couple of classes. I had a F1 class and then another class. So I had to get these grades up. So I had to go to credit recovery for the last semester. Okay. And I think I had 2 18s on my previous ACT test. So I ended up getting my 21. Okay. Yeah, thank God. That was the number I needed. It's the number I got.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So you got your 21. Yep. And what made you choose the University of Pittsburgh? Like, when you went there, like, what was your experience like?
Oh yeah, you're a Pitt boy.
I'm from the Bird.
From the Bird. Man, I love Pittsburgh. I think what sold it for me was my trip to the cathedral.
Okay, Cathedral of Learning.
Yeah. Yep. So for those that don't know what the Cathedral of Learning is, it's like the world's tallest like school or school building.
Yes, university. university structure.
Yeah. And we were at the top of top floor looking at the entire city. I don't even think they do that anymore. And I'm looking out, and it was snow on the ground at the time. Like, yo, this is amazing. I'm coming here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow,
So,
the Cathedral Learning sold you.
yeah, and it was I forget how many miles away from the house it was.
About 1,000.
Yeah, and I knew it was about an 18-hour drive, so it was far enough for me to say, like, this is
I could
the
leave
start.
everything behind.
Man,
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I needed it.
Okay.
I needed it.
Wow. All right. You get to Pittsburgh, and the snow. You're a freshman. There's moving day.
Yeah.
You're 1,000 miles away. You get on the field. Who was the starting running back at the time and whatnot?
Yeah, the starting running back at the time was Ray Graham.
Ray Graham. Okay, yeah. Ray Graham was nice too.
Oh man,
Yeah,
like
big
the
dude.
leading rusher. Yeah. No, he wasn't. You talking about size?
No, I'm talking about
the name?
his impact.
Oh yeah, major impact. The guy was only like 5'8".
Yep.
And 185 pounds, but
And he had just followed
Deion Lewis. Yep.
And then he had just followed Shady
LaShawn McCoy.
Yep.
Yeah, so history of good running backs.
Really good running backs, and that whole stretch there. And so Ray Graham is the running back.
Yep.
All right. Were you recruited to be a running back or free safety only?
So I was recruited to be a running back. After when I got the offer, it was for running back.
Okay.
And so I was there as RB, looking to make an impact.
Okay. All right. And then you get there. What happens?
So I get there and I'm with the staff, right? This Graham staff, and his deal was high octane, right?
Okay.
We're gonna be. I laugh because he was only there for a year.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I remember.
Oh my God, the way he left was crazy.
Yeah.
So we had this saying high octane offense. So
Yeah.
the workouts were crazy. But the environment, my class, I feel like we were close.
Okay.
But we worked hard, and man, the campus was lovely. We had a great time there. I mean, I made myself at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, made myself at home immediately.
Did you find yourself feeling like you were more in the city, being with like where the campus is located, and being so close to downtown, and just buses and just people from all around the world, and
Yeah, I definitely felt that comfort, that the city vibes for sure. Because the state of the campus is, like you say, it felt like we were in the middle of downtown.
Right.
But our training facility was actually
You share with the Steelers, right?
Yeah. So we shared it with the Steelers. It was like 10 minutes from campus. So we have to take a shuttle over there.
Right.
Yeah, which is like not familiar, not common, I guess, with a lot of these other colleges.
Right. And then you also share your actual stadium with the Steelers.
Yeah. So we did share Heinz Field, and it was cool because our practices, we walking into the facility, and we would see, Ben Roethlisberger,
Right.
Antonio Brown, I forget who, Coach Tomlin, he was there. And we would actually, like when we were having training tables, so we were eating after practice, the Steelers were being there at the same time. Yeah.
Did you work out with any of them or form any relationships with them?
I never did.
Okay.
And that is my biggest regret.
Okay.
My biggest regret was not taking advantage of those opportunities to just build relationships, genuine relationships, getting the knowledge from guys who was playing a position and my position, and that was my maturity at the time.
Okay.
And my business sense was all the way off. My focus wasn't there, and I wish this is my. People say they don't regret things.
Yeah.
No, I'll regret not talking to some guys, in particular Michael Vick, when he showed up.
Yeah. Okay. You were there then. Okay.
Yeah, because he ended up getting traded there or whatnot for the Steelers, and I shook his hand one day, and when I graduated, all I could think about was the conversations I didn't have with a guy I looked up to for years.
Yes.
Man, number 7, Michael Vick.
Everybody looked up. If you're from the hood, you looked up to Michael Vick. Yeah, it's just what it was. Like what he was doing to football was revolutionary to us. And I grew up under Randall Cunningham, who had the same effect, right? And then Michael Vick just was on steroids with it, right?
Yeah.
What he was doing in Atlanta and then throughout his career. Okay, so let's segue out of your sports. So you played 4 years at Pitt?
Yep.
Okay.
All 4.
And then it comes down to, where did your football career actually end?
When did I throw my cleats on the power lines?
Yes.
Well, it was our last game of the year versus who was the team? Houston.
Senior year?
In my senior year.
Okay.
It was a bowl game.
Okay.
And we were down in Dallas. The closest game that we've had that I had close to Oklahoma, right? Well, this game, I knew something was. It felt different because it was so close. I was playing against my my goalkeeper from my soccer.
From way back in the day.
From way back when. So he was my goalkeeper for like 6-7 years or so. Dylan Seibert.
Yeah.
He ended up going to OU but transferred to Houston.
Okay.
And it just seemed like it was all coming together. Like I feel like it was closing out. My friends were finally able to make it to a game. My parents, my sisters, got to drive down. I mean, it was crazy. But the night before this game, guy spoke to me, man. It was the weirdest thing ever. He spoke to me a few times in my life, right? And all of them have, been crazy situations. But he spoke to me. He told me that I was going to get hurt. I just had a shoulder injury and surgery, the previous year. So I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be my shoulder. But I'm thinking to myself, like, wait, I'm going to get hurt? What do you mean?
Right.
Like, after your last game, it's time to go, time to train for pro day.
Right.
You're either going to go to Florida, you're going to go to someplace warm. Can't train really in Pittsburgh because it's so cold.
It's cold, right.
So these are decisions I'm thinking about. I had agencies reaching out to me trying to, help me on this journey. But I'm not really giving anybody the time of day because I'm wanting to focus, right? Well, the night before the game, guy speaks to me and I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. So, but I wake up and it's like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders and I'm playing this game. And to me, I felt so free. I don't remember the last time I felt free just playing a game. I ended up scoring a touchdown and I'm running down on kickoff because I played kickoff too, right?
Okay.
So I'm going down on kickoff, right? I remember the first time I ran down there, I'm thinking to myself, man, this is easy. It's like I had it figured out at the time. All I gotta do is move a certain way. Like these guys can't stop me. So I'll score, and the next kickoff right after that, I go down to make a hit because, like I said, it was easy.
Right.
And sure enough, I make a hit and I get hurt. And that's the end of it. So I'm lying on the field, and all I could do was laugh. Like I'm literally laughing. This is funny, guy. And but that was it.
Wow.
That was it. Yeah.
And what did you hurt? How?
So I hurt my knees, my PCL.
Okay.
So it wasn't a career-ending injury,
Right.
But it was an injury that put me in some type of slant for a minute.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but it was the sign that I needed.
Yeah, that it's over. This is it.
Or to make a decision because I could have trained.
Okay.
I could have trained to get back, but it wasn't no more hard to do so.
Okay.
And thank God I didn't because I was, right after that, like a month later, I discovered my love for education again.
Okay.
So I had to enroll as a full-time student. Took a nutrition class, retook my Bible as literature class, and actually I almost got my certificate in nonprofit management.
Okay.
Yeah, and was able to take a trip to Vietnam for free.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
all right.
so a lot happened after that.
So coach told you to take the trip to free from Pittsburgh, and now you're taking all the trips for free.
Confirmed from my sister because I almost didn't take that trip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I told her.
So you need your sister to push you again.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I'm like, it's the same sister too.
Yeah.
I'm talking to her. She's like, man, what you doing, fool?
Right.
I'll trip. I mean, I'm thinking about Vietnam and them not liking black people.
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
Right.
So, but it was just the opposite. They love me over there. I love them. Great time. And I'm glad I took the trip.
How long were you there for?
I was there for 6 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, through
Nice.
a program called Coach for College, and
Okay.
it was like formed because of a relationship that needed to be rebuilt from the Vietnamese and Americans from post-war.
Right.
So the different athletes from different schools across the country raise money and would go over there and we'd teach a class and coach a sport.
Nice.
Yeah.
What did you coach?
I coached soccer.
Soccer. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So teach a class, coach a sport, and it would we partnered with some Vietnamese who were at the universities there. And so none of the kids spoke English at all. So we had to
interpreters.
how it go. It was so fun, so
Yeah.
much fun teaching life skills at the same time, right on the board. So learned a lot doing that process.
That's wonderful, man. So you how was it going? Did you think you were going to go pro or no?
Yes.
You did?
I knew I was going pro.
Okay. Was there any letdown when it didn't happen?
No, it wasn't.
No? Okay.
It's funny because I love playing football, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I knew that it wasn't what I was meant to do forever.
Yeah.
I only wanted to check, if I'm honest.
Yep.
I wanted to sign on the dotted line for $1 million. That's all I kept thinking.
Right.
You know, I'm going to get the check and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, just to say I did it. But yeah, it didn't work out that way.
Okay. So you come back to Tulsa.
Uh-huh.
And how did you know what was next?
I didn't.
Okay.
I did, man. And, you know, even how I got here, I was working. I graduated a semester early, 2014.
Mm-hmm.
You know, pursued the nonprofit management certificate. 2015, that's when my entire class graduated.
Okay.
And in the summer, I'm working for a lawn care company, right?
Okay.
And another time, God spoke to me. Like, man, I don't know why he likes having these conversations with me. So, but I'm working literally I'm in the driveway, and he says, "Oh, you're going home." Clear as day, you're going home. And I had zero plans of moving back to Tulsa. I was looking up apartments in New Jersey. I was looking up. I was going to start a career in Pittsburgh. I love Pittsburgh. I love up east. Yeah. I didn't. Why would I come home for? There was nothing for me here except my family. But other than that, it's not like I was.
You're just a flight away,
right?
Yeah.
So, and I was wanting to start a new life, but for whatever reason, you know, he put it on my heart to come home. And like the next week, I put my apartment on Twitter, and my former teammate, he reached out to me. He took it over, and I ended up going to Vietnam like 3 weeks later.
Okay. Wow.
Wow. Yeah. So, and I came back. When I came back home, I wasn't planning on doing anything. You know, I wanted to relax, man. I've been working for the last 4 years.
Right.
So, you know, I was at the house with my folks, and my mom, you know, she's asked me, "What do you want to do?" Like, man, I just want to relax for a little bit. I don't want to work. And I'm going to a revival service at Metropolitan. It was having a 3-day revival. Okay. Went the first day, and it was like packed out, overflowing, right? Amazing. My former PE teacher, she reaches out to my mom because they share the same birthday and been knowing each other forever. She sees me. She's like, I didn't see her, but she sees me. She tells my mom, "Hey, is Isaac back home? You know, is he looking for a job?" And you know, and then at the time, a PE teacher had just left, so it's just her, right? Okay. I didn't know it. I tell my mom, "No, I'm cool." I tell her no. I just want to chill. Yeah. You know, the car was on like 1.5 miles from my house. I don't have a car or anything. Well, mom tells me, "Well, you know, just think about it. You know, just think about it. I know what you're saying, but just think. It's right there." I think about it, right? It's a 3-day revival. The second day I teach, I go, and there's a student across the street who wants to go with me. Me and him are at the revival. Packed house. A lady says, "Hey, we got a couple of seats." So they walk us down the aisle, and guess who was by?
The PE teacher.
My PE teacher, Miss Dyer. So I look at her and I laugh like, okay, this Lord, you're funny. Right. And from there I ended up going to the interview like next couple of days, and the rest was history after that.
Wow, that's wonderful, man. 2 more questions. I want to get into Agro Daily. Okay. And Big Bertha. I want to tie those 2 together. All right. And so what was the impetus for Agro Daily and the challenge you put to yourself as well as some other people around accomplishing Big Bertha? Okay.
So Agro Daily started in 2015. It was like a way of me closing out my sentences, right? Some Agro Daily. I don't even know where it came from. God definitely put it, gave that one to me. But since then, I have, you know, took it upon myself to encourage others through this same mantra, right? Every Saturday, I'm at the Hill. Yeah. Big Bertha. I named it, you know, a few years ago, and I guess it just stuck, right? Yeah. I use this place as a platform, or basically like a way for me to connect with people and to encourage them to do the same. You know, everyone is on their own journey, and at the Hill, that's what I encourage people, because if you've been, then you know that I'm not going to push you further than where you can go.
Right.
And ultimately, I might even push you at all. I'm just going to encourage you, right, to grow here at Big Bertha.
Yeah.
This is for you. It's not for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to show up regardless. That's how I look at it. I'm there, rain, sleet, or snow. And I've been there for the last few years. I don't miss unless I'm out of town for an important reason. But any type of weather, I'm there as a reminder to people that you can use an excuse, but ultimately you have to get back to what you're supposed to do. And so I use Big Bertha as a way to encourage people to get active. And really, I want to encourage my community, the Black community, to get active. But obviously, everyone is welcome. Yeah. But it is a reminder that, look, you got to take your health seriously. Yeah. And come grow with me at the Hill. Yeah. You know.
So for those of you who are listening, Tulsa is relatively flat.
Yeah.
And you know, you're hard pressed to find like real, drastic changes in topography. And so, Big Bertha is one of the biggest hills or, inclines here in Tulsa. And Isaac has this group that he's running with every weekend, 10 a.m.?
9:30 to about 11 o'clock.
Okay, yeah. They run Big Bertha up and down, kind of like Jerry Rice used to do with his training. And so you have these people who are like believing in it. They're adopting this mantra of I grow daily, right? How's that feel being that you're sparking all these fires with individuals?
Well, it feels good to see someone be encouraged. To encourage themselves. I think because everybody's journey is individual. Like at some point in time, you can hear all the positive messages that you can take in, but you have to believe it, that you can grow, that you can do whatever it is that you're putting your mind to, that God has put on your heart. Yeah. So, I mean, it's great to see. Hopefully, I continue to make this impact. Yeah.
I got one more question. I got a call to action. Last question is hope.
Okay.
How do you, we've talked a lot about sports. We've talked a lot about, your pivotal points in your life, these conversations with you and others, these conversations with you and God, right? How do you hold on to hope, or how have you held on to hope throughout all of these ups and downs, ebbs and flows, periods of uncertainty and certainty? Yeah. How do you hold on to hope?
Well, I'm a PK. And I think my father instilled in us prayer and how important prayer is. Praying as a family every Sunday before church. And in my personal journey, I've realized that if I don't have anything else, I have this word, this Bible that I can read each and every day at any moment in my life, time of day, and it's going to have something in there that
you need,
that I need, that's going to resonate with me, that's true. And that alone is enough for me. As crazy as it seems, like I can always go back to that. Like, let me start here. And then from there, just a reminder, I thank God for these reminders that, man, it's going to be okay. Like I have to have faith if I don't have anything else. Right. Because I mean, if I don't have anything, like even right now, right, and not knowing exactly what I'm doing next, but I have faith that God has me. Like I'm gonna be okay because I'm gonna trust Him in this process. I'm gonna keep serving others. Right. Like that, even right now, like a lot of training that I do is for free. I don't charge anybody at the Hill. I haven't for the last 4 or 5 years. So regardless, like I'm gonna be taken care of because I take care of others.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful. Call to action. What do you? How do people reach out to you? Okay. What are some last words, and how do they follow you on social media and connect with you?
Yeah. So some of my last words, man. Keep the faith. All right. Believe that whatever it is that God has on your heart, you can do. And if you want to meet me in person, want to get started on your fitness journey, definitely follow my Instagram, I_grow daily. That's my same Twitter handle as well. And I'm at the Hill every Saturday, 9:30 to about 11 o'clock. At this point in time, even if I'm not there for whatever reason, you will see someone there. But I encourage everyone to make health a priority, and to set the boundaries that you need in order to keep health, keep your health.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. This has been great, man. I thank you for your time. There's so much more we could have got into here. We gotta cut it off. We'll have you back though at some point, man. I think your story, I'd love to see how it's blossoming and like unraveling and or unveiling, I should say. And so I'm really excited to see where you go, man. There's so much more. I see it, and it's going to happen for you.
Appreciate you, man.
And just how you've endured all of these other transitional points. What's next? You're going to be excited about it. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, right? Thank you, man.
Absolutely, man. This has been a wonderful another edition of New Voices. Thank you all for listening. Have a wonderful day.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to this episode of New Voices. Visit our website at www.newutulsa.com. That is NEWU Tulsa.com. Follow us on social media at New U Tulsa on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And a special thank you to our producer, Jesse Ulrich. If you're looking for self-improvement, join our free cohorts for personal and professional development opportunities. New U is a way for diverse talent to imagine, discover, and actualize a 2.0 version of yourself. Bring your future into focus.